So we have the Epstein documents. Did we learn anything? Let's talk about it. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about the Epstein documents that have been unsealed that revealed a lot of his acquaintances. Now, this is a result of a lawsuit against Ghislaine Maxwell. And as we know, Ghislaine Maxwell was an Epstein associate. She is in the penitentiary for, I believe, 20 years or so for helping to facilitate the underage girls that Epstein was abusing on the island and elsewhere. Now, we all know about Jeffrey Epstein. He got deleted himself or whatever in prison, which is a whole different story, and I digress. There's been quite a few A-listers and normies and heads of state and everybody else linked to him, and some of these people are in the documents. Now, before we get into the names, which I do have, and the documents, which I do have, I just want to say one thing. There are some redactions. Some people are not listed, although there's a list that you can read, and I will link to that in the box, that's in alphabetical order, meaning all the names, including the redacted, are in alphabetical order. So if there's a space in between a G and an H, and it could be an H name, like, I don't know, Tom Hanks, for example, that's a great example because his name could fit in the list that I saw. You got to kind of put two and two together to maybe get four. And then my question is, why are any names redacted? Is it because they snitched and they got some kind of deal to work against Epstein, work against some of these international cabals, if they exist? I'd like to know that information, but some names are not going to be there. And a lot of the names that we're going to see here, you already know about, is not really a surprise. Okay, so we learned some things here, but not necessarily a whole lot. And if you don't know anything about the list, you're going to learn today. And of course, this will be in the box. I got a few more documents, a few more articles. I will link to everything in the box. This is on New York Post. You see the headline, all the A-listers named in the newly unsealed Jeffrey Epstein documents. And of course, Jeffrey Epstein, just for a quick rundown, he was locked up and he dead now because he allegedly deleted himself in prison, in a federal prison in New York City. But he was known to have this plane called Lolita Express, and they would go to the island, Epstein Island, and a lot of underage inappropriate activities were going on. That's why he was locked up for that. And that's why his associate, Ghislaine Maxwell, is still locked up. And I'm surprised she's still breathing oxygen, but let's get through the article. Dozens of high-profile names, including royalty, politicians, and famous scientists. And the scientist one is kind of crazy. We'll get to that in a minute. There's a whole story about him. Anyway, but all these names appear in an avalanche of previously sealed court documents related to Jeffrey Epstein that were released late Wednesday. The trove of papers in Epstein accuser Virginia, I can't read her last name, Giffers, 2015 defamation lawsuit against the dead ex-offender Madame Ghislaine Maxwell included references to Prince Andrew, former President Bill Clinton, Slick Willie, and Stephen Hawking, among other major figures. Now, Stephen Hawking, I kind of want to fast forward to him right quick. We're going to get through quite a few others. But Stephen Hawking, this guy right here. Now, Stephen Hawking, I'm going to just read this right here. It says, Epstein offered a reward to Gifford's friends, acquaintances, and even family members in order to help prove, quote unquote, that our allegations that theoretical physicist and cosmologist Stephen Hawking participated in an orgy were false. Underage orgy, to be clear. That's what it said in the email. Underage orgy were false. And an unsealed email between him and Maxwell stated. So, to be clear, Epstein was emailing Ghislaine Maxwell, the madam who procured all these people, trying to get her to convince them to prove, quote unquote, that Hawking didn't do this thing with the underage orgy on the island. Now, this guy, you may recognize him, Stephen Hawking. He dead too, but I think he was just old. I don't think he got deleted. But what happened, he was mobile at one point. He could move, and he eventually became ill and became in a state where he couldn't move. You may have seen him At a certain point when he was living, he would speak with some kind of device, some kind of keyboard, but he couldn't move at all. He was permanently looking just like this. Now, before he became immobile, he was married, and as he declined into this state, there were always nurses and home help people around. Now, he decided in his state of not being able to move anymore or getting close to that to cheat on his wife with one of the nurses, and then I think he wound up being married to her. If that story is wrong, y'all let me know, but I know one of the nurses he wound up having an affair with 100% while he was descending into this state right here. So just because somebody's disabled, they can't move or whatever, does not mean that they can't do things that are kind of unethical. And it also doesn't mean that he could not be in some kind of underage orgy. I'm not saying he did do it, but why is there an email exchange between Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell about this guy and the underage orgy? Who would start that rumor for what if there was no truth to it? But I digress. Let's get into a few more because I'm kind of skipping ahead here a little bit. Okay. Now, one of the main ones, they're talking about Prince Andrew. We all knew about that. Prince Andrew of the Kingdom of Great Britain, United Kingdom, whatever they want to call themselves, of the royal family. Prince Andrew. Let's read some of this. In addition to, and the name I know I'm butchering, I know you guys are going to correct me. It's okay. But in addition to Gifford's allegation that she was forced to have sex with Prince Andrew while underage, the documents include additional claims from other Epstein victims about the disgraced British royal. So this guy was mentioned quite a few times in the documents. I think he's one of the top people mentioned in the documents. Alan Dershowitz, who was a lawyer for not only Epstein, but I think Trump at one point, he's mentioned, I think, the most out of everybody. Now, I'm not sure if it's because he was legal counsel and he was mentioned in that context, or if he was mentioned because he was on the island engaging in activities, or if it was a combination of both. I don't know, but let's keep on going. And by the way, when that happened, they pretty much excommunicated him from the royal family, if I'm not mistaken. It was really bad. All right. One woman identified as Jane Doe testified that she had sex with the disgraced royal 3 times and that Epstein told her to give the prince whatever he demanded. So there's that. Another Epstein accuser, Joanna Solberg, said in her own deposition that Prince Andrew touched her breasts while they were on the couch at Epstein's apartment. Both Prince Andrew and Buckingham Palace have repeatedly denied all allegations against him. But, I mean, look, this picture right here, I kind of glossed over that. I don't know what this is right here. Appears to be a pretty young lady. That's Prince Andrew, and that is Ghislaine Maxwell right there in the back, posing. Okay, so there's no doubt that Prince Andrew, and Ghislaine Maxwell and Epstein knew each other, would hang out together. There's no doubt about that. It's just a matter of what did he do while they were hanging out. Okay, now Slick Willie, of course, we all know about Slick Willie. There's pictures of him with girls getting massages and everything. This is Jeffrey Epstein right here. That's Slick Willie. Former President Bill Clinton's name appears 73 times in the newly released papers, The Independent noted, but he is not implicated in anything illegal. Okay, you can believe that if you want to. As part of a 2016 testimony, Solberg recalled Epstein telling her that Clinton likes them young, referring to girls. I mean, nothing illegal, right? Okay, cool. Many references to Clinton appear to be related to Gifford's attempts to compel him to be deposed in her since settled suit against Maxwell. Clinton, who flew on Epstein private jet multiple times, has denied having any knowledge of the creep's crimes. Okay, no knowledge of the crimes. I got it, no problem. Trump. Now, Trump knew Epstein as well, but we're going to get into it. Let's see if they're honest here. Former President Trump appeared at least 4 times in the unsealed documents. And in Solberg's deposition, she described how Epstein once called up the real estate mogul and suggested visiting one of his casinos when Epstein's private jet was diverted from New York City to Atlantic City. Jeffrey said, "Great, we'll call up Trump and we'll go to X, Y, and Z. We'll go to the casino." Solberg later added that she never messaged Trump or massaged Trump, pardon me. In her own deposition, Jeffrey said she was lured into working as a masseuse for Epstein when she was 17 and working for a spa attendant at Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort in Florida. But Trump was never implicated in anything illegal. There's testimony from people in the documents, and there's nothing that links to Trump doing anything bad at all. Al Gore's in here for some reason. Maxwell's attorneys requested Gifford provide photos or videos of herself with several high-profile people, including former vice president and the father of the internet, father of climate change, father of global cooling, global warming, the ozone layer, all that good stuff, while riding private jets all around the world, Al Gore. Jeffrey's team objected to the motion on the grounds that such documents were in custody and control of Maxwell and Epstein, the unsealed paper showed. Solberg also denied ever meeting Gore in her testimony. Okay, so there's more here. I'm not sure about all these people. Leslie Wexner, Bill Richardson, Jean-Luc Brunel, Michael. Solberg claimed to have met pop icon Michael Jackson in Epstein's Palm Beach home. She denied ever massaging Jackson, who died in 2009 at age 50. David Copperfield. Solberg described magician David Copperfield performing tricks at a dinner at one of Epstein's homes. He questioned me if I was aware that girls were getting paid to find other girls. She added, noting that the illusionist did not specify what he meant. Very interesting. Tom Pritzker. Let's see. I'm not sure what that is. In the 26th deposition, Gerfrey claimed to have had sex once with Hyatt Hotel chain heir Tom Pritzker. A spokesperson for Pritzker, who is worth an estimated $6.2 billion with a B, $6.2 billion on the Bloomberg Billionaires Index, said he continues to vehemently deny the allegation. Okay, Glenn Dubin, Frederick Fakai, Ehud Barak. In a deposition, Solberg denied ever meeting the former Israeli prime minister. Last spring, the high-flying politician admitted to the Wall Street Journal that he hobnobbed with Epstein in New York, but claimed he never met the businessman with girls or minors or even adult women in proper context. Sure. Kevin Spacey. Solberg denied crossing paths with Kevin Spacey, who was acquitted in July of several charges related to sexual acts on younger men between 2001 and 2013. George Lucas is mentioned once, but that's it. Naomi Campbell. There's more. Leonardo DiCaprio, Cate Blanchett, Bruce Willis. Solberg denied a press report that she met several Hollywood stars during her time with Epstein. I did not meet them. No, when I spoke about them, it was when I was massaging him and he would get off. He would be on the phone a lot at that time. And one time he said, oh, that was Leonardo. Oh, that was Cate Blanchett or Bruce Willis, that kind of thing. So, okay, you know all these people. Speaking about Epstein, you know all these guys, Leonardo DiCaprio, Michael Jackson, all these, David Copperfield, you know all these people, Bruce Willis, but ain't no funny business going on. How do you know them? Why are you even in their circle? What about Jeffrey Epstein makes him so popular? What's the big deal? I don't really know. But as I close, I want to say this. These documents didn't really reveal a lot. There's quite a few redacted. It's not fully there. I saw a list of 70 names, including redacted, but there's 170 names in the document. So can we get all the names? Can we have the redactions redacted? Can we get that going on? I think if we have that, then we can get down to the bottom of it. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? Do you think that we learned anything here? Did we not learn anything here? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. There was not a lot learned here, but if you were not familiar with what's going on, then this could be new to you. And I think we're going to see a lot more from this as the days and weeks progress. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.